are live. So, yo, what up? What up? This is LAY with the Beat Table, where we introduce
Hey.
producers and beat makers and let them tell you why and how they ended up where they're at right now. So,
Hard work.
man, go ahead and please introduce yourself.
Well, first up, my name is B4Lasers. I'm hailing all the way from Chicago, Illinois. You already know, man. Duck World, Chicago. We making straight heat. None but bangers. All the homies, none but bangers. And that's what we do. You know, I'm a producer and mixing engineer as well. Just all around artists. All around artists, just creating and being great.
And I could definitely vouch for that.
Hey.
The first time I heard this guy, I was a fan right off the bat.
Hey,
I was
love.
like, I could not stop bumping Amor Eterno.
Hey.
That beat tape, even my wife was like, again? I'm like, yeah.
The Amore. I love that. I love that project, man. That's probably one of my favorite projects of all time, man. Just really being able to create with that. And the funny thing a lot of people don't know is that shit is all off Koala, man. All on Koala sampler, bro.
No way.
And when cats hear that, they're like, bro, get the fuck out of here. You lying? I'm like, nah, man. Amore Eterno, all across the board, man.
Damn.
It was great. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. From Ancora all the way to Casa del Enan, you know. I loved it.
The crazy thing is, I've heard other stuff because once I'm done listening to Amore Eterno, it plays like your other stuff.
Yeah.
But I go right back to that beat tape.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm like,
that's good, man. I appreciate the love. Thank you. That means
don't get me wrong, the other shit's dope, bro. But
Amore Eterno,
yo, that shit's a vibe.
That means love, forever love, man. Eternal love.
That shit's a vibe, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Yeah, there was a lot of work that went into that, man. I remember my wife used to be like, "You still working on that shit? You still working on it?" I'm like, I loved this project, man. This project was really a push for me, man, to want to make something that felt like I was just going through day by day. And I think that's like, if it felt like just as the days go by is what I mean. You know, it felt like when I made this, you know, I was working my 9 to 5, 9 to 9, fucking around with Encore, but you know, I was traveling. I was a traveling engineer, audio engineer, you know, AV specialist in general, just traveling around the Midwest region, doing live events, and I'm just taking my iPad everywhere I go. And I was just like, I'd be on show site, you know what I mean? Just I'm making beats, you know, I'm locked in. They're like, "Hey, Corey, next cue." I'm like, "Oh shit!"
trying to fill in with the gaps, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, you know, it was nonstop with that. And I think that's what made it dope, was that I was really living day by day. I wasn't like in a fantasy land in my head in the studio trying to make something, right? I'm really was outside tactile. Like, you know, I'm making beats in Indianapolis. I'm making beats in Minnesota. I'm making beats all over Chicago and Wisconsin and all over Indiana and Ohio. Like, just putting the work in. And then
you know what? I think that's dope, because when you like seclude yourself in a studio or in a room or wherever it is you're at, like your creativity could only expand so much.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're out there like giving it all you got at the same time creating, you're creating off of that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way. I feel like when you're really going off, like my wife says it all the time. You know, she's like, you gotta live to be able to be creative when you create. So it's like when you're doing that, you know, you're not just sampling random records. You're finding things that you can identify with what you're going through at that very second, and like what's going on in your world, or what sounds you hear when you walking through the city, and what like that's really what it was. I'm listening to wild, all these songs I'm flipping on that album. I'm listening to crazy records, just hunting through Bandcamp, hunting through Spotify, just trying to find gems, listening to soundtracks, just walking through Chicago, like.
And you know what's funny? Now that you're telling me that while you worked on that beat tape, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. That's why it came out so amazing, and that's why it has such a vibe, because you weren't secluded to just one thing. Your creativity was everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, man. There was even I remember, like, one of my favorite flips off that project is and I think it's probably the most popular record, is surprisingly is it's called Moment of Peace, is what it means. Momento di Pace. My Italian homie Marco would be on my head cap about mispronunciation of Italian words, because he's Italian, you know what I'm saying?
He's like, get it right.
That. Yeah, when he came to my show, Amore Thun, I'm like, this man right here, it's crazy. Shout out to my boy Marco.
He just snatches the mic and shit, huh?
Yeah, but like, that record was a flip from something I heard on IG. Surprisingly, I think it was a guy making I believe he was like making some chords on an OP1, and like bro was recording like some rain and like in a hallway or some shit on his OP1, and then next thing you know, he came in with some chords, and I was like, that's crazy, bro. Like, and I'm just listening to it, and while I'm listening to it, it's raining outside. The skies is gray. You know how the Midwest is. The sky is gray as fuck. Like, it's. I'm like, this is perfect. Yeah.
So talking about the skies in Chicago,
yeah,
we haven't even got to the second question. So look at that. So where exactly are you from?
Me exactly. I'm from a little city that sits in between Chicago and Milwaukee. Just to give people, I like to give people because most people that aren't from this area, they'd have no idea. If you hear Chicago, Milwaukee, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's called Kenosha. Actually, we have a little bit more popularity now because of the Rittenhouse and all that stupid ass shit, and the riots, But I'm from Kenosha, Wisconsin, born and raised.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Never. Okay.
I've never heard of that city.
It was an amazing little city, man, growing up, and it's just been. The small cities between Chicago and Milwaukee have just been growing bigger and bigger and getting more massive. I mean, shit. Me and my wife was riding by. They just built a casino in Waukegan, and as you see, this is another small. Like, I have no idea. These are like picture a small city. Like, it doesn't even make sense when I think about it. It's like, what? But you have this small town, you know what I mean? And right by Walmart and all the other, like, how they always put it by all the trendy shit, Panda Express. Woo, you got fat ass casino, bro.
So is everything like distant from each other, or everything's like close by, like a city?
Walmart's little bit of a distance. You couldn't walk to Walmart, but we have other grocery stores like out here anyway in Waukegan, and even in Kenosha there's other like grocery stores. But a Walmart, like a major, that might be a little bit of a ways. Like, I think the only Walmart in Kenosha is all the way on like Washington and Green Bay, which if you don't live, even if you lived in like the neighborhood in Kenosha, not out in the outer skirts, Walmart is still a trek. It's all the way up Washington, like all the way, bro. Like, you damn near to the highway.
So are you a cheesehead? Are you a Green Bay Packer?
For life.
Damn.
Life, sir. Cheesehead.
That's my son. He's a Green Bay fan.
Gotta be. Yes, that's right. He was
I'm
raised
like,
right.
Full, like, you're born in LA, bro. What the hell's going on?
He was raised right. That's right. Pack him up, send him home.
Yeah, I'm be like,
yes,
oh
sir.
Man. So what was it? What was it like growing up in your neighborhood?
It was, for me, it was chill. I got to experience a lot. So my mom, she was a school teacher, so I was lucky. I didn't have to live in the I'd say in the harshest of areas. I was lived kind of by Tremper High School in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is, if you look it up, there's like 4 high schools or something in Kenosha. But I live near Tremper, and growing up there was cool. I feel like I was able to have a little bit different of experiences with music, which is why I feel like I'm into music now, because I wasn't strictly around a lot of black folks. I had a lot of white friends, so I'm listening to rock and shit like early. I'm kicking it. I'm living near, basically, I'm living near the trailer park. Let's put it. There we go. So like, I'm kicking it in the trailer park with the homies. I'm listening to Portishead and all this. Like, this is like as a kid. So that was probably the dopest part about growing up on that side, like a town. And then I was still able to go to the hood, kick it with the homies, you know, and get all of that too, man. That was dope. That was dope. And the coolest part of all, man, I'm glad you asked that question. That question really unlocked one for me, man, is so where I lived at, which was 87th place, I want to say 2 blocks. And we talking like small town blocks. We're not talking city blocks for all y'all folks that live in the big cities. You already know one of your blocks is like 20 minutes.
Right.
I'm talking like a hot 7-minute walk, 6-minute walk tops, right? My uncle and my grandmother lived in an apartment complex that was right by our crib called Briarcliff. So I got to spend a lot of time with my uncle R.I.P. and my grandma R.I.P. So I got to spend a lot of time with them. Most definitely my uncle riding around listening to oldies too growing up. So I'm listening to, you know, Always and Forever.
That's that LA shit too.
With you, you know. And he was a huge doo-wop head and like, oldies head. So I was like, I got to really like be in the music like so much growing up that it's not a surprise that I'm doing what I do today.
Yeah.
That's what's like growing up in Kenosha for me.
And that's dope that you had that diversity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you weren't just locked into like hip hop.
Nah. I wasn't, you know.
And that's dope. That's dope. My bad if I spill my drink right now.
It's all good. It happens. She getting to it though. She brought the mop. She said, I got you. No worries, mijo.
But yeah, no, that's good that like I said, you weren't just locked into like one genre of music.
Nah.
And that way you were able to like expand your horizons, you know?
100%. Yeah, man.
So,
My mom's was huge gospel, huge into the church. She was a gospel singer herself. So I got to experience a lot of that growing up. And then my dad was a huge classical head. So for a while, so he was huge into orchestra and classical music. So we riding it. He's from Chicago. So growing up, whenever I wanted to really spend time with him or be with him, he would have to come and get me, and we would go all the way back to Chicago and we'd be in the city. So all that time he driving, or when we at his house, we kicking it, I'm listening to Bach, Beethoven, you know what I'm saying? All those like
Vivaldi,
different symphonies, and like, and just enjoying that, man, and being in the back seat, just watching the city lights go by as I'm just, you know, taking it all in and being a sponge. So that's why when you listen to This Is Perfect with the Maury Eternal, it's funny how it's just all, you know, you hit the da-na-na-na-na, you know, it's like samples you wouldn't have even. Sometimes I don't feel like cats, you know, pick orchestral and symphonic. They kind of only look for like soul or like, and all that shit there's crazy gems in there that get skipped. I was just on live the other day, like chopping like some wild, I think it was like some Quincy Jones and his orchestra, and motherfuckers was like, bro, where are you finding this shit? Like, man, it's going crazy right now. It's like,
I try to chop up shit that's like unordinary. People be like, where the fuck did you get that from? I'm like, that's some Russian orchestra type shit right there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt, you know, that Russian orchestra shit, you know.
So did you have a big family or a small family? Like,
man, you know, growing up, man, I had a pretty big family, fam. I had, you know, I got to see a lot of my fam. Like, most definitely when my grandma was still around. And my aunt Loretta,
She kept it
like,
all together.
yeah, man, like we would have family reunions. We would just have like kickbacks, man. People would come all out. My auntie would come out from Ohio, you know, cats coming up from down south, so coming from Champaign. I got a lot of family in Champaign. They're coming up, and we barbecue. My uncle barbecuing, and we kicking it like just vibes, man. Like it was
Yeah,
great,
hell
you
yeah.
know. That's why it's like, you know, death alleviates pain for a lot of people, yeah, but it also, you know, breaks families and times change and all that shit that you have to experience in life. So, you know, now it's a lot smaller. It's, you know, me and my wife, our immediate fam. It's
Yeah.
not as big as it was for me growing up,
Yeah.
but you know, I most definitely got to experience that, and it was a great, great, great thing being a little kid running around, being bad as shit.
And it was, yeah, it was exactly the
Yo,
same
taking me
thing.
back.
Yeah.
Yo, you taking me back, man. Look, I remember this one time, yo, say, motherfucker was, bro, I don't know what I was on, fam, but I remember I was bad. I ended up in one of my cousin's cars that, like, I just got there in the driveway. I'm a shorty, bro. I'm probably like 9 or 8. I fucking threw that bitch in, I was playing around. I threw that bitch in neutral or some shit. I fucking got to rolling. I jumped out that bitch.
Tuck and roll, tuck and roll.
Boy, I ran in the house and just ran in my room and got under my cover. I'm like, holy shit.
Did they figure out what happened?
Of course they figured out what happened. This is the Corey's badass.
Did you get a whooping?
Yes.
Woo!
Man, caught the tennis shoe.
Got that good ass whooping.
Big. What's your bitch ass? Big. Let's lay your bed face. Big. Go lay your ass in the room.
Hey, you know what's funny though? After those good ass whoopings, we still fucked around right after. Yeah. Like the next day, we're doing some badass shit again,
Back to it, man. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But you know what? That's the only way to live and learn, man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take those times back for nothing.
Hell no. I did almost a similar thing when I was little. All of my dad's friends were into lowriders, right?
Oh no, you didn't.
Hey, bro.
Oh no, you didn't.
Let me tell you, they pulled the lowrider into the backyard with a bunch of badass kids. And I had the bike with the grips where the grips were like all the way in, so the handlebars were all metal.
Yeah.
And I'm riding my bike, and I'm just like, la, 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 la. And I'm riding by this, like, 86, all black, brand new painted Monte Carlo. And he just scratched his whole shit.
Oh, you did it on accident? Just cruising?
Yeah, I was just cruising. Dog. I was, just minding my business. And I'm like, oh, I already knew I was in trouble, dog. My dad grabbed me, and he fucked me up.
Oh, yeah, he gave you that good-ass whooping.
Hey, usually like the homies would have been like, nah, hell no, it's cool. Hell no. His homie was like, you better fuck his ass up.
He ain't never gonna learn. He gonna learn today. You gonna get this ass whooping today.
Oh man. But that's crazy. I mean, hey, that's the way it was when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you gotta live and learn.
All day.
Know?
That's what it is. You know, if you're not living, you ain't learning. So and that statement goes right back around, man, to how I made a Mori eternal. If you ain't living, you ain't learning. If you ain't living, you ain't creating.
At all.
You gotta live to create. I feel like that's why a lot of cats, that's why y'all running in the beat block.
I know, right?
Motherfuckers just sit in the house. You'll never go nowhere. You'll never do nothing. Nothing. You just there. You know, you gotta be outside, man. Shit, even Jay Dilla was outside.
All the time.
You know?
So who got you involved in music?
For me, so Big Nate is the one who initially got me into music. I remember he was a local artist. I believe he's in Ohio right now, so shout out Big Nate. I shouted him out my last interview too. Big love. I remember going to his studio because like I wanted to rap because, you know, I saw like Kanye and I saw like shit on TV, so I kind of, you know, stole my brother's little like, remember back in the day they had them long ass like computer microphones and shit that'll sit on the little stand, long little
Same
pencil
exact
joints.
one that I used.
I taped that hole on the wall. I got tore out some bed foaming from the old bed we was throwing out, put
Just
it on the
wrap that
wall.
shit.
You know what I'm saying? I had a bookshelf in my room, like a little. I had no books on that shit. I hate reading, so I fucking turned it to the side, threw a cover on that motherfucker, and it was up. You know, and I'm just recording distorted raps, going crazy. So thinking I was cold, even though I was trash using Audacity. But anyways, we I met the homie over time. You know, as time goes by, you know, we in like high school now. I'm a freshman. You know, I'm starting to meet everybody else that rap. I met this cat named Lil Steve. Lil Steve, he had a group called IRC. He was cool people, and shout out the homie. He's still kicking raps today. But
Nice.
He ended up going to. He was like, "Yo, you should come to the studio with us." Well, I'm going to this guy, you know, Big Nate. And not like this was the first time I heard him, pulled up, and I was like mad, and like I feel like that inspired me to like really want to like. I saw his studio, you know, it was just your regular home studio, but it was just fire to me how he had it like the booth built with all the treatment. I'm like, this shit is crazy, like damn, this shit is wild, bro. You see the booth with the MXL mic and that be going crazy.
Ooh,
but
the 990, he had the little gold 990.
I thought that shit was annoying at the time. We going wild, you know. But
yeah.
that really put me into the drive to never stop, you know.
Yeah.
That really did it, bro. And I never stopped from there. My dad was supportive.
I'm glad.
He was a huge tech head. Like he was always where he worked with, like he was working at like IBM at the time, so he's been into computers. So I've been into computers. I've been around all the cable and all that shit like since I was just shorty. I just been, what is this? He's like, it's a VGA cable. Put it fucking back. I'm messing around with shit. So that was yeah, man. That really, between my pops being supportive, man, and running into Big Nate and Lil Steve pulling me into that studio session, man, that really did it. And I kicked off with him. I would go back to the studio sometimes, kick it. I would see him on Fruity Loop. That's how I got into Fruity Loops, FL Studio. Yeah, man, started making beats on there. I got out of Sony Acid, bro. That's where it was at before.
Hey, you know what's funny? You're mentioning all the same shit that I got started. I got started with Audacity. I got started with a fucking pencil computer mic.
That's right.
I got started with you know, Fruity Loops. I still use Fruity Loops to this day, but I was using Sony Acid Pro to record the vocals
all day. Boy,
you know what I'm
saying?
The
first time I saw Adobe Audition, I thought I was God himself. I said, hold on. And this was, you know, this is like 2008 or something. I'm like,
man, that's crazy.
I used it for like 2 songs and never used it again. Went right back to Sony Acid Pro because it was just what I knew, you know.
So was that the first time you got involved with hip hop, or did you already know about hip hop before that?
I was already into hip hop. Started out the gym. I was doing hip hop.
So how old were you the first time you heard hip hop?
First time I heard hip hop, man, probably like the first time I heard it and really like, I want to say, recognized what I was listening to, I probably was, I want to say like 13 maybe, because I remember it was Bow Wow.
Nice.
So let's see, what was Bow Wow first album, man? Hold on, I could do it. It'd be easier like this, then I don't go away from the mic. So let's see, Bow Wow's first album was, drum roll, please. Let's see. It would have been, I remember it was Beware the Dog. Yep, that was it. So that was 2000.
Oh.
So 2000, I would have been, damn, really? Shit, I was 9.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember.
Younger than you thought.
Bow Wow, bro. I never forget it. Because I never forget because bro like cussed on that joint one time.
Yeah.
And my brother like put the fear of God in me about listening to like cuss. You don't need to be listening to no cuss raps here, because I remember I think it was like his Most Def album or some shit. He had like a
Oh,
Most Def, because he was a huge CD collector. Like he had,
yeah.
you remember the book. Y'all don't know about the book, bro. If you don't know about
Just flipping that
y'all
shit.
youngins don't know about the book, bro. So I'm
That's the
like,
Bible, bro.
what? I'm like
That's the
flipping. I remember
Bible.
because his room was in the basement, so I'm in the basement. This shit like out of a movie, right? Of a fucking Wisconsin. My brother's room in the basement. Anyways, I'm down in the basement. I'm flipping through the book. I'm like, these shits are what? I remember I wanted the Most Def joint. He wasn't really. He was like, nah. He wouldn't let me get it. You need to be listening to that shit. Then I remember I think he got it for me, or my mom or something got me like Bow Wow. He was like, yeah, and he don't cuss. I remember I was really laying down, had the CD player. I'm analyzing this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm analyzing this shit, listening to every word he's saying, bro. And I remember he said some cuss word. It was like one single cuss word. And I was like, no, I can't listen to this anymore.
That
But
is hilarious.
after that, it was up. I was like, well, fuck it, man.
That's crazy.
Yes,
So
sir.
you listening to hip hop, right? Bow Wow, 9 years old.
Yeah.
What got you to start making beats? Like, was it like in the process of like meeting your friends that you the Nate and all them, or was it after that?
Most definitely had to be. So I think to start making beats, 100% Big Nate all day. But to want to chop records
Yeah.
all day, that's my cousin Brother Can Do, man. My cousin Chris, shout out Brother Can Do, man. That man is the reason you have B4Lasers today. He gave me my first turntable, the Technique S1200 wheelless, original wheelless steel. I remember he gave me a Gemini, but then he took it back. Big Wad. I had the sick ass Gemini. It was like this black like Gemini DJ mix. That shit was cold, bro. I was like, man, the Sonics on this shit is what. So I had that. He talked me into getting my first MPC 2000. Emu S. What was it? The Emu ESI 2000, I believe that was the sampler as well, which is a rack mount sampler. So I had both of those, gang of floppies, and I was just like cutting up. Like I'm cutting up in that bitch. He gave me my first he the reason I had my first 100+ records. Easy.
So
200-300 records. Easy, bro. It was always a plug.
Right off the bat, were you sampling or were you trying to do original shit?
Nah, I was playing fucking
off key ass notes and shit.
Yeah, facts, bro. Or I'm or if I was sampling, so I can't forget. Like I said, my history deep. That's why I was asking you to see some of the questions and because it's like I had to read and kind of get my mind right.
Yeah,
because it's long. There's a lot of cats that I've met over the period, and I want to kind of streamline answers. So I met through my homie Armanio. I met his cousin Julius, and he go by Jay Taylor. He's a producer, rapper, artist, still creating. So, bro, when I met him and this whole group we had called True Statement, we I remember vividly, bro. Like I started getting this was sample packs then, but they weren't original compositions and melodies back then. If you probably remember this because you was already making music, these was already chopped up like songs. Like the shit would already be chopped up and you could just load it in Fruity Loop and stretch it or whatever, and like it was just already like 70s joints, 80s joints, whatever, just already chopped up. Kanye drum kits, all that shit. This was around that time. All that stuff was starting to spill onto the scene. And yeah, man, that's really like between those two, that's really what did it. That got you that B4Lasers just like chopping up shit. It was all of that stuff was around that same all this stuff was like happening around these same time periods.
That's dope. That's dope. So speaking about B4Lasers,
yeah.
How did you come up with that name? Like what happened?
Funny enough, man, I was just talking about this shit, man. The homie asked me this earlier. Funny enough, how did you come up? Marcos, shout out Marco once again. So, man, dog. So I got my Technique S1200, right? I think I had like a Dell Inspiron or a Dell laptop, some shit back then. And I'm sitting and I have my laptop in my lap, got Fruit Loop open. I'm looking at the turntable in the corner of the room, looking back at my PC, looking back at the turntable. Because everybody used to call me Relic. That was my name for the longest, was Relic.
Nice.
And I was like, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was dope, but I don't know. It just wasn't original enough. I started to see DJ Relic and other shit. I'm like, I don't want it anymore.
Graffiti named Relic.
It's tarnished, you know. So I'm like, all right. And no one ever gave me a nickname, you know, except for my wife calling me, you know, the regular honey bun, as you already know. So I'm like, take butt. I'm looking at my computer, I'm looking at the turntable, I'm looking at the record, I'm looking at the computer. I'm like, I pop open the CD drive of the PC and I see the little people cats don't even know what CD drives look like anymore. But I see the little laser when you open the shit, it should be like shoots out there, and you know, I'm like, lasers, records, before lasers,
Damn.
B4Lasers. I like it. And I took the Sharpie on my saw and I tagged that bitch right on the side of the S1200. Tagged that shit clean, and I was like, "That's it.
That's crazy.
I'm running with it," and that's what I ran with ever since.
Hey, you know what? That's a dope ass name.
Hell yeah,
that's a dope ass name.
I love it. B4L. And then as I've gotten older, it's grown B4 to God, you know, B4L.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, all right, I can kind of because it was always B4Lasers. It's like, there's so many different ways of saying it. Some people say before lasers. My wife be like, why do people say it like that? It's B4Lasers. Before lasers, B4Lasers. So I'm like, I could just
they're trying to correct the shit out of it, huh?
Bro, man. So I'm like, you know, B4L or B4 to God. I was like, there's different monikers for it, which is tight. So yeah.
So how did you like meet Duck Girl? Because you met Duck Girl and then that's how you guys did Duck World, right?
Yeah, well, she already had Duck World. So Duck World was already made. It was a sample community. She was doing samples. She was flipping samples, and she wanted a community around it. And then she made Duck World. That's kind of how it all came together. So it's Ricky. Ricky is the glue. Okay. So Ricky was like, shared the shit, and I'm still like just getting into the whole like community at this time, because I've always, as you see, I've already been making beats locally. A lot of love. I mean, I could give you a million stories on local legends and all type of shit. So it was a time where I decided to, about a year last year, pretty much, I decided to bring back my Instagram and for my beats before at B4Lasers versus my mixing one before mixed it. And I just started to follow people that were into like lo-fi hip hop, boom bap, and I'm like, I gotta do it right this time. I gotta build. My wife, you gotta build. So that's what I did. And when Ricky shared that, my homegirl at Duck Girl 808 is looking for people to do sample challenges with her, or flip samples every week, you should pull up. I followed her. I was probably the third person, maybe fourth person to join her Duck World chat. Real talk.
Nice.
It was me, Clopsy, Ricky, and Duck Girl. For real, man. And maybe one other person, if that. And we started cooking up ever since. That's really how I met her. And I was like, I believe in what you're doing. I believe in the message, for the community, and that's where we at today.
Yeah, that shit took off.
Organizers. Yeah, I'm one of the organizers. We got a Chicago chapter. The Chicago chapter is tough. If the Chicago chapter ever pull up to one of your shows, you might get mad because we're going to fucking blow that bitch up.
As you should.
Yeah, the next thing is Flip a Beat Club. So hey, FABC, let us get a chapter, man.
Yeah. Everybody's doing their thing, bro. And when I first met Duck Girl, it was at a hip hop show, and we started talking about beats. She was with Clopsy, and I didn't talk to her again. And then I was doing a beat tape, and I was like, yo, like that would be dope if I had a female producer on there, you know?
Yeah.
And I put her on there, and we started connecting again, and she said she had Duck World. And I was all like, oh shit, okay. And that's when I went to the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just taking off. That's just dope, man. Big ups to Duck Girl and Clopsy and everybody that's part of that community.
Shout out to the world,
you know what I'm
man.
Oh, Ricky, everybody.
Yeah, bro, we rocking, man. It's
Hell yeah.
We do anime nights. So tonight, after this, I'm gonna be doing anime night. So pull up. As one of the organizers of Duck World, man, I'm always trying to do little things for the community to keep everybody glued together.
That's good.
So yeah, man.
That's good.
We're watching Bocce. I think it's Bocce the Rock. We're gonna go ahead and finish that season up. It's a season about 4 girls that make a rock band and punk rock band, and they're fucking going crazy. So make sure you pull up, come watch that. Then we're gonna get into the violent shit next time. It's gonna be blood everywhere.
That anime shit is crazy, bro. Hey, my son is gonna be 3 in May, and he's been watching One Piece since he was born.
Really?
Since he was born.
Is he done with it yet? I doubt it.
No.
So still ain't caught up, bro. Episode 650. There's 650 to go, bro.
So he's like super into that shit. He thinks he's Luffy. That's what thinks he's. I swear to God,
a legend, bro.
Yeah,
I love to hear it.
He be trying to go into like different gears and shit. I'm like, yo, you need to chill,
bro. Yeah, Luffy's a savage, man. If you've never watched, have you watched One Piece too?
No, I've never watched that shit a day in my life.
Bro, Luffy's a beast, bro.
So he started watching
it.
So he started watching it because of my oldest son. So my oldest son,
One Piece too?
Yeah, well, he likes all anime. He knows all about that shit.
Oh yeah, hell
so but my
Ray's
baby,
right. I like these guys.
Yeah, my baby fell in love with One Piece, so they just started just banging out on that shit, you know. So
yeah,
but that I think that's just dope. Maybe I haven't gave it a chance to get into it, or I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's about the cool thing about anime, man, is there's something for everybody, right? Yeah. Just because I say, yo, you want to watch some gory, bloody, like motherfuckers getting thrown around and fucked up the whole time, yeah. Just because I'm talking to another guy, that might be what you think he want to watch, but bro might want to watch slice of life. He wants some warm, fuzzy, chilling. They're just sitting outside sipping sake, laughing. You know what I mean? Was this little kid's grandpa growing up in the neighborhood? Like that might be the shit that just inspires bro to chill and want to make some beats and watch the season. So you never know what someone likes. So with anime, it's really about finding what you want to watch, like what you feel like being inspired by, and tuning in. You know, there's something for everybody, bro. With anime, bro, it's not just crazy long shows or like One Piece. There's also just short ones, you know, that only have a single season. There's stories about love. There's stories about hate. There's stories about
violence,
Vikings and violence. I'm watching some shit right now. Vinland Saga. What? It's about the Vikings, bro?
Damn, that's crazy.
Savages.
I'm about to dabble into that a little bit.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
That's bro. What? I'm locked in. Locked in. I've watched that. Locked in. I ain't even gonna spoil it.
So what is like? Are you a DAW person, or you'd rather use your SP404?
Now, at this point in my life, I'd rather use my SP404 or Koala sampler.
So that's your choice of weapon.
Yeah, for sure. But now don't get it twisted. I'll go ape shit in Ableton in a heartbeat. Well, I will go crazy in Ableton. That's if I had to pick a DAW, that's my DAW choice.
Yeah.
I use it still sometimes when making beats because I like to sometimes add synths to shit or bass lines and stuff, and I can just open up Wavetable, create my own basses. You know what I mean? Like I got a Moog in front of me, create my own shit.
Man,
And
the
then,
Moog.
you know what I mean? I don't have one in real life, so what can I do? You need oscillators, right? So run it. I open Ableton. I got Wavetable. I can control multiple wavetables at one time, or different operator and different synths, all stock. A lot of people would think, oh, you know, he buys. I do have like the Arteria bundle and stuff, and I do use those. I have Omnisphere. I've used that.
Yeah.
You know, but I've used them in different ways than like most cats just use them for the patches. Like me, I'm looking at what sounds are in it. So like there's actual like sounds like in the shit. So the reason why you're able to get a Moog like synthesizer is because they sampled a piece of the Moog oscillator, you know, sine wave osc 1, and they have it in the fucking thing. So if you load up 2 of them and then add a bunch of the stock effects in Omnisphere and tweak it out, you can make whatever the fuck you want. So that's kind of how I've been looking at it lately.
And then they got some sick ass VSTs.
Yeah.
And that goes into the next question. Like, what is your like piece of equipment that if somebody was like, you could go buy whatever you want, no money, like it doesn't matter how much it costs, what would be that one piece of equipment that you would get
that I don't have now?
Yeah.
I would say I would probably have to say probably an MPC 2500, like fully modded, upgraded, ready to go with the USB drive and shit. Cause like I said, I had the 2000, I sold it. I had the ESI EMU and all that. I sold that stuff for, I think I got like an Xbox 360 or something back in the day. Stupid young kid, dumb. I don't even fucking play games no more. Stupid as fuck. Should have kept that shit. Stupid ass video games, man. You need that shit. So the reason why it's so hard for me to be like, yo, I get this compressor. I mean, I'm in my studio right now. You know what I mean? I run Pro Tools Ultimate. I got Analog Summing, SSL, Neve, you know, all this shit, very mute compressors right here, all type of shit. You just can't see. It's like it's right below where my computer's sitting at. So, you know, I don't really have the need for that. I don't have but for MPC 2500, fully ready, output card clean.
On it.
I'm ready, bro. I got a D-sub patch cable ready for that motherfucker. I got with the 1/4-inch jacks on the other end. I'm ready, bro. I'm popping that joint right in. We're going to have that set up, man. Or like I'll have the setup ready. I got a little beat studio kind of like right outside of this room that we into, that I make beats and do my lives out of.
Oh, nice.
So like this is the mixing room I'm in here because obviously acoustically treated, sound the best.
Yeah.
And that computer in there doesn't have a webcam, so but yeah, man. Yeah, I have to get that, bro. I would have to get that, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I would take that budget of whatever I could get. I'd probably ask for some monstrous amount of thing that would cost way more than $2,500. So I could also grab me a nice, like SSL 6 or something, you know, so I can have a little mixer because you know I could do something out there as well, and I don't have to always be coming to the studio with it and all that shit. Or you know, I almost definitely would probably do that too. I get a better turntable, man, all day. I'm gonna just go ahead and throw these in here because these are
infinite ideas.
But I don't have. I do right now. I don't have my S1200 anymore. Obviously, she passed away. Sad. Rest in peace. Yeah, I mean, she was old. You know,
rest in peace.
She went for a long time though. Yeah, man, I missed the technique, man. So right now I got a Newmark TT USB. I mean, she kicks ass though. She's got a great stylus on her. I put on her a good needle, good cartridge. Yeah. So, you know, I ain't tripping. That shit worked well, but you know, I would love like a nice ass direct drive, like just crispy joint.
Hell yeah.
But I don't have one right now, so yeah. That's everything that I want though right there. That sounds about right.
Hey, you just jotted that shit down, huh? You're like,
hey, babe, you know what you was asking what I wanted for Christmas? Here you go.
That's crazy. So if we could grab B4 Lasers, and put them in a vacation spot to only work on a beat tape or an album or whatever it is that you wanted to work on,
Yeah.
where would that vacation spot be?
For what I want to make, for what I want to sample next, for like my next, some of my next stuff, I think probably be somewhere in like, man, there's so many places. Yo, you see, I got stuck. I'm like, oh no, wait, not there either. Somewhere in the Caribbeans.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
massive percussions.
yeah, bro. I want massive percussions, crazy. Even Jamaica. Like I would love to go there. Somewhere beautiful, man.
That'll be a vibe right there.
To enjoy the island, enjoy the times, bro, and most definitely go to Studio One, I think it's called. Wherever King Tubby was at.
Yeah.
I believe that's what it was called. And fucking create, bro. I'm making all the drum sounds while I'm fucking there, bro. I'm making I'm going crazy.
All kinds of shakers, huh?
Yeah, bro. Some wicked snares, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's 100%. That's 100%.
So, what motivates you to create?
So the sounds of the world, bro. Like outside of just music, I hear stuff every day. Like I work in a warehouse right now. I work in an AV rental warehouse and shit.
Yeah.
And just hearing like the lift, the lifts go by and this shit like, dee, 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 dee. I'm like, bro, I could
sample the shit out that shit. Change the octave on that shit, huh?
Like I'm like, yo, like, so that's the sounds of the world, man. Just outside, like when we was just chilling earlier in this I don't know, because I got a dynamic mic, so it's good for like not hearing everything that's going on outside, but there was muscle cars going by and fucking sirens and shit, and I'm just like,
everything,
all that stuff is what keeps me wanting to make music, bro. I don't know why, but it's like just hearing sounds in the world. As the world is, I'm not even thinking about music, and I'm just like, shit like I just want to go make a banger now, man. Why'd you do that? Why'd you rev the Hellcat like that, cuz? So,
man, and
sounds
that's
of the world for me.
That's the thing about a beat maker or producer, is that no matter how many sounds we hear, we want to create something out of it.
Yeah.
Like my wife screaming at me, I'm like, I'm gonna sample that shit one day, and I'm gonna fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna make use of that shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and the one thing too I love about my this time in my life right now is where I work at right now is like, it's mad love when it comes to music, bro. I mean, I work with like 4 musicians or some shit. Like my boss just bought a bass guitar. Mind you, we're at rental house. We in there grinding. We QCing gear. I'm a lead QC engineer, so it's like we making sure shit's crispy good for shows. And but I'm listening for samples all day. Nobody complains. I've had to. I slowed down on bringing the SP to work. I don't want to get in no trouble. I like my job, but
you need to get that Zoom.
Yo, you go look at my Instagram. I got about 30 videos, bro, in a warehouse, bro. What the fuck, yo? Making bangers, So I love that, man, and that also kept me like in this point in my life, has kept me majorly inspired because I'm able to just constantly be on a hunt, man. And to all the young producers out there, bro, I want to say, like, you gotta have a drive, bro. Like real shit, man. It ain't gonna make itself, bro. Even with AI, I mean, with AI, you might in 10 years you might be able to absolutely cheat that shit. And this what I'm saying right now might not be irrelevant the way AI is going, but at this point in your life, you shouldn't even then, you shouldn't want that motherfucker to make it all for you, because then you're not
hell no.
yourself.
That shit ain't authentic.
If you want to make music and you want to be a beat maker or producer, be consistent. Have the drive to want to constantly look for samples or chords, whatever you do. If you are a musician, you're looking for chords and different progressions. If you are a sampler, you on the hunt for the rarest and newest and craziest samples from something nobody's ever heard.
Yeah.
Have the drive to constantly want to do that, bro. On the rag.
That's true. Yeah. So what is something you want to tell everybody that's going to watch this?
I love you. Thank you.
Amor
you could have been anywhere
right?
in the world. You could have been anywhere doing anything, but you're here with us.
Hell
I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much.
So check it out. So the whole purpose behind the beat table is I definitely want to know who you guys are, and I want everybody to know who you guys are. But the main purpose is I want you to show people what it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? I want them to know, like fuck talking.
Hey,
let's show who B4Lasers is.
Hey man, I got the SP right here, man. What you saying?
Let's make it happen, Captain.
All right, man. You ain't gotta say ain't nothing but
it's the motherfucking beat table, and this is B4Lasers. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say this. Hey, listen, if you're watching this right now, I love you. I made a bunch of mistakes. I'm gonna make a bunch of new ones tomorrow, and I'm fortunate I learned from them. When you follow your heart, you always win.
And there it is. B4Lasers. Woo!
mama, nigga. I'ma be the greatest to ever do this shit. On my mama, don't like. On the dead on me, dead on me, dead on me, see me, see me.
I wish I could keep feeling. On the corner, robbing, killing, dying, just to make a living.
Corner was our Rock of Gibraltar, our Stonehenge, our Taj Mahal, our monument, our testimonial to freedom, to peace, and to love. Down on the corner, on the corner, on the corner.
Hey, Soundwave, turn this shit up, nigga. Turn this shit up. Soundwave, turn this shit up, nigga.
Tell me who the bitch nigga hating on me. Jumping on my dick, but the dick ain't free. To pimp a butterfly, another classic CD. Get a lullaby for everyone they can see. Blow, blow, blow. Nigga, now R.I.P. My diligence is only meant to write your eulogy.
Oh yeah, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is B4Lasers, and this is the motherfucking beat table.
You heard.
And this is how we do. Hey, yo, thank you so much, bro. That shit is fucking beautiful, dog. And yo, go look up my boy B4Lasers on Spotify and go listen to Amor Eterno. That shit is a beautiful fucking beat tape. You will not be disappointed. It's a vibe. Go follow my boy right here, straight from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
And this is the motherfucking beat table. This is what we do, baby.
That's what we do, baby. Pull up on us.
Hell yeah. Peace.